Good morning, guys. It is Monday, April 20th, and it is an A day. So you guys have history, English, and biology today. I think you guys are going to really enjoy English today because we have a guest reader for us for the next story that we're doing. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, the last time we got together, we were discussing the four causes of World War I. And we had started with militarism and alliance. If you remember, I had to do those four different vocab words before we even started this. And if you had also noticed, I talked about how they spelled out main, or the main causes of World War I. So just to review really quick, militarism is glorifying your military or building huge militaries, which was what they were doing during that time, specifically with the Navy. These military people were able to mobilize their military rather quickly. And so that sort of started suspicions between different countries. We also talked about alliances, which are going to be really important when we get to the United States involvement in this war. If you'll take a look at your screen, just a quick review about alliances are those agreements between different countries to back each other. And the idea of that was that, you have an alliance with other countries, you are a stronger power against anyone who should want to go to war with you. So again, take a look at those alliances. I think we're going to come back to them here in just a minute when we talk about the next two causes of World War I. But take a look at those, the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente we talked about. All right, so for today, the first one we're going to talk about is imperialism. And imperialism is trying to build up an empire. So one thing that countries in Europe were doing at the time were pushing into Africa and Asia, trying to claim colonies there. Basically, you expand your territory, you expand your ability to mobilize military. So what that did, of course, between specifically European countries who were trying to spread to all sorts of different colonies throughout Africa and Asia, was create this huge competition or mistrust between European countries. Everybody was vying for more, and the more you had, the more suspicion or, the angrier others would become, because it's a big competition to see who has more, who could be the biggest empire. Another thing to take a look at is this grid that you see on your screen. From 1910 to 1914, there was also this huge increase in defense expenditures. And of course, that would span across whatever country was purchasing or making sure that their military was growing, but also in those colonies that they were collecting in Africa and Asia. So if you'll notice, Germany was outspending everybody during this period of time. Okay, so that's imperialism. So we've gone through militarism, we've gone through alliances, and now imperialism. So our last one here today is nationalism. Nationalism is having pride in your country. And so during this time, there was this, huge need to be prideful of where you came from. What it did, of course, was unify or bring together the people in the country. Everyone had something in common to stand for their country. And as that sense of nationalism grew in all countries, it again created this intense competition with other nations, and wanting to overpower others. Most especially, it created competition between the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente that we have talked about. So there's there's not necessarily anything bad with nationalism, having great pride in your country, but during this time with all these other things happening, or all these other causes, it created competition. Who's going to be the bigger, badder country? Who's going to have the most territory? Who's going to have the biggest military? Who has the biggest sense of pride in their country? So for all these four causes, this is where, or what sort of led into World War I. Some other things that we're going to talk about that are coming up, but I wanted to take these four ideas kind of slowly with you guys and do World War I sort of at a slower pace, because I don't want to overwhelm you. But anyway, so now you know about imperialism and nationalism. So like the last two that we discussed, I have 4 questions that I posed for you following this slideshow and me talking to you. And I'm doing the same today. So attached to your lesson today are 4 questions. Remember to make a copy of that document. I know I messed up the last time. I think I made it editable when I should have just made it viewable, and that got a little confusing. But anyway, so this time, remember to make a copy and then get your answers put in there and get it turned in by 9 this evening. All right, guys, that's it for history. I will see you guys, or I guess I won't see you at all to the rest of the day. You won't hear my voice the rest of the day, but you do have an assignment in biology, and you do have a guest speaker today, or a guest reader in English, so enjoy.